Hi guys, it's Karen. I'm back again with another video for bijou accessories. Last video we talked about the septum ring trend and what looked good and what didn't quite look good as far as the septum rings were concerned. And I told you the next video we would do would be about ear gauges and ear stretching and whether or not that was cultural appropriation. So if you don't know what ear gauges are, I have a few photos. It's basically you get your ear pierced, and you insert a disc into the piercing. When you eventually make a larger disc, put a larger disc into the piercing, and you continue enlarging the disc until your earlobe is very large and it's stretched out, and the piercing is very large and stretched out. It's just a form of ear stretching. So I guess we should all start off with a definition of cultural appropriation so that we're all on the same page. And basically, I got this off Wikipedia, and it basically says cultural appropriation is a concept dealing with the adoption of elements of a minority culture by members of the dominant culture. And it basically goes on to say that, basically the minority culture holds these elements to be very high in cultural significance. It's usually very important to the minority culture, but the majority culture who adopts it usually treats it like something edgy, different, fresh, new, some sort of trend. It takes it very lightly, whereas it really has lots of cultural significance. And so a good example of cultural appropriation would be a couple of years back. Kendall Jenner decided that she was going to wear cornrows. And when the media got wind of it, they presented it as this brave new fashion trend, summer braids. I think they called them boxer braids. This is cool and new and edgy. When in reality, African Americans have been wearing their hair in cornrows since before slavery. It is very, very high in cultural significance. It is something that almost every African American woman has worn at some point in her life. She's had cornrows in her hair. And so it's not new at all. And it's not a fashion trend. It just holds lots of cultural significance and lots of nostalgia. And it's just a lot more than just a fashion trend. There are a lot of people who think that ear gauges and ear stretching are a form of cultural appreciation. And they're going along the lines of, uh, imitation is the most sincere form of flattery. And they're coming at it from that angle. I really think that the only difference between cultural appropriation and appreciation is knowledge and respect of the history behind what you're doing. As long as you're not taking it lightly or just, something to do, as long as you know that there's a history behind that and that what you're doing is not a trend but has been going on for thousands of years and has lots of cultural significance, then I think that you're probably on the side of cultural appreciation. And so with that said, here are a few examples of ear stretching and ear gauges, through history. So ear stretching is very common among the Maasai people of Kenya. Both men and women do it. And it's seen as a sign of wisdom. The longer that you've been around, the farther that your ear has been stretched. So people with very stretched out ears are assumed to have lots of wisdom because the older you get, the wiser you get. That's the concept that they're going off of. The Maasai people of Ethiopia practice ear stretching and lip stretching, and it's said to be a sign of respect, I'm supposing, because the larger the plate is in your lip or ear, the longer you've been around and the more respect you get. There's the same concept of respect over in the Dayak tribe of Borneo. The larger your lip plate is or the larger your ears are stretched, the more respect you gain. And again, I think that's because the people with larger discs and larger ears are the ones that have been around longer, so they're more respected. So as you can see, ear stretching and ear gauges have lots and lots of historical significance and cultural significance. It's not something you just go and do because it's cool or because you want to aggravate your parents or because you want to stand out. It's not to be taken lightly. And I think the key word here is really sensitivity. It's basically sensitivity. So before you go out and get your ears pierced, stretched, gauged, or any other type of body modification for that matter, you should probably ask yourself 2 questions. Number 1, can what I'm doing be considered degrading or disrespectful to other cultures? And number 2, am I cheapening or devaluing something that has cultural significance? If you answered no to both, then I think it's probably safe to say you're practicing cultural appreciation and not cultural appropriation. That is all for today. I thank you guys for joining me. Remember, you can get all of your accessories needs taken care of at bijouonline.store. That's BIJOUX online.store. I am wearing our glorious ring today. See, so pretty. There's only 2 of these left, but you can definitely head on to the website and get them at bijouonline.store. I will see you all next time. Goodbye.